As the full moon rises on the eve of the Fremantle Derby, the Bulldogs' howl echoes around the ground. And for a few select players, it will be a return to where their football careers began. South Fremantle have lost the last 2 derbies this season, and as the Bulldogs travel to Shark Park, the former East Fremantle players won't be able to escape the wrath of the blue and white faithful.
Oh, it's pretty good. Obviously, cop a bit of flack from time to time from supporters, and they're pretty disappointed that I left. But I think in coaching, it's pretty common these days. You move on and you choose the best option that's going to take you forward with your Pacific, coaching role. And just wrapped it after a year, making the change that I am coach of South Fremantle. Not going as good as we would have hoped, but I'm here to change that.
Just a chance now for East Fremantle. Goes with a long kick on goal. Just slightly slips across the face. But a diving mark taken by Miller. He'll play on. Kick the easiest of goal.
Yeah, still cop a fair bit. Not as much as I used to. Plenty of blokes to share the load now. So, yeah, it's not as bad. And fortunately, we've had a bit of success. So it's probably not as much reason to give me grief.
And that success is the 2009 premiership that Chris Miller won as a Bulldog, 9 years after playing in a losing grand final for the Sharks.
Shoots on goal, he deserves one and he gets it on the siren, but it doesn't deny South Fremantle their 13th WAFL premiership. They have won the game by 5 goals.
Everyone only plays really for premierships, and played in a grand final in 2000 at East Fremantle, and that's probably my only regret there, is not playing in a flag. And then, yeah, playing in the 2009 grand final, it was probably even better than I thought. So, I mean, East Fremantle hasn't won one in the time that I've gone, and South have. So I suppose if you look at it like that, it's probably been a good move.
Paul Hazelby and Miller know all too well about the increased level of competitiveness derbies attract. It's a winner-takes-all game.
This is Stephen. Stephen again short. Derby delights for East Fremantle. Derby disaster for the Bulldogs. A dark day for those in red and whites.
Oh, look, it's pretty massive. The crowds, obviously substantially bigger for the derbies compared to home and away. And regardless of the size, they're very loud, and I suppose every club's got passionate supporters, but they're even more passionate when East are playing South. Their supporters are a lot more passionate, and whoever's winning, their supporters really get their tails up. And so in terms of games, yeah, there's not much better.
I've been there once this year and certainly copped a fair bit because we got belted by 80 points. So I'm not too worried about the flack as long as we can put up a better performance and really set up our season for next year almost. That's what we're all about now. Can't make the finals, but we certainly can influence the final four and even the position. So we'll do our best to try and knock them off.
Touched off the boot, said the umpire. Miller, that was Chris Miller, a desperate lunge. It lands with Perham. Perham steps on goal from in front of the East Fremantle members reserve, and he's got his 3rd.
Well, the East Fremantle touched us up in the first game. We went down, we're in front, in the last quarter in the second game. We're obviously at different stages. They're trying to consolidate a final spot and maybe a top 2 spot. We're trying to keep developing blokes and personal pride, I suppose. So, even though we're going for different things, I mean, it's probably East Fremantle been in the position the last few years to try and stuff up our finals campaign chances. So we're probably in a position to try and make things a lot harder for them this time.
These players have all won the ultimate individual award at East Fremantle, the best and fairest, before crossing ports to pull on the red and white jumper.
Mitchell feeds the hand pass to Stribling, squeezes a kick through traffic, and Casey Green, cleverly under pressure, couldn't control the mark, but another gift goal there to Chris Miller.
Oh, look, it's just circumstantial, I suppose. Things happen and people go in different directions, and yeah, the best direction for me was drive an extra 5 minutes down the road to South.
Yeah, Millsy's won one. I think McCarry did one. There was also myself and Tim Melseed might have won one as well, who came across. But just one of those funny things. East Fremantle went through a period where they were losing a lot of senior players for whatever reason, and South Fremantle were the beneficiary of that.
Wasn't too bad. I was in red and white when I was a junior in a little country town, so that wasn't too foreign. We were the Bulldogs there too, so yeah, it wasn't too foreign, but yeah, something different in my senior football. I certainly remember my first first drive here and probably sat in the car park for about 15 minutes and yeah, just sort of looked around and wasn't really sure what was going on. So I clearly remember that as if it was yesterday. So yeah, it was interesting.
Murphy to Miller, deft little kick into the pocket to find Hazelby.
But for Hazelby, a lot of time has passed, from his stint at the Sharks to playing for the Bulldogs to now coaching them. But it still sends the Sharks fans barking mad.
I think it was 11 years difference, so I wasn't playing against guys that I grew up playing with. Probably didn't know anyone in the East Fremantle team on a personal level, so that made the decision a bit easier. But the fans certainly gave it to me out here on a few occasions, coming from the hot dog stand. They invited me up a few times because I was carrying a bit of extra weight at that time. But they'll never forgive me, but we move on and you make best with what you got.
Even calls Hazelby's a traitor.
He swings it across his body and Hazelby has taken the mark almost right on the goal line.
I wouldn't say a traitor. I think in footy it's just a common thing that people do move on and you pick the best option for you at that particular time in your life. And the South Fremantle coaching opportunity and playing opportunity was the better option for me at that time.
Gathers it, throws it onto his right boot as he snapped a goal. He looks pretty happy with it. He might have.
But right now, East Fremantle have the better of the Sharks, who are sitting in 7th position.
Yeah, obviously he doesn't look great on the ladder, but you know, we won our 4 games. We've lost 6 by less than 2 goals. So we jag a few of them. We're certainly in the mix. But I think it's a different period for the South Fremantle Football Club. We've come off the 09 premiership. A lot of those players have now moved on, and we get a chance to rebuild and do something, you know, even more exciting.
So come today, what can we expect from a man who's played in 39 Fremantle derbies?
Oh, Miller favoured by the bounce.
Probably someone that's just having a crack and trying to do their best for South to win, regardless of, you know, what that position or job is. Basically, I'll put my hand up to do whatever I can, and hopefully, regardless of how well or bad I play, we win at the end of the day. I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, that leadership that's what leadership is obviously performing week in, week out. That's what he does. He's consistent with everything that he does, and you know, he just competes. He loves the contest, and he wins more appeal than probably anyone else in the competition, and that's his great leadership style.
And once you cross to the other port, is there any chance of a possible return?
There's no doubt about that, I would say. I've got no desire to go anywhere else or anything like that. Yeah, and you know, I really enjoy the blokes I play with here, and yeah, no reason to go anywhere else and play for someone else just for the sake of a numbers game.
I'm a Bulldog now, yep.